Let's work on some application problems involving Markdown. I have two questions prepared. The first one is multi-part, and so is the second one. Let's begin with the first. Getaways Company sells sightseeing tours of the Ottawa Valley for $3,849 per person. Overhead expenses for the company are 31% of cost, and the target profit is 17% of cost. Question A, how much does Getaways Company pay for the tours? Let's begin by making sense of the numbers that are given. So they are selling these tours for $3,849. So the selling price is $3,849. The expenses, which I'll denote as E, are 31% of the cost. So the amount that you pay for this trip as a business owner, 31% of that will go towards the expenses, and the target profit, which I'll represent as P, is 17% of cost. In question A, we're being asked to find the cost itself. So let's recall an important formula where selling price is equal to cost plus expenses plus your profits. We already know the selling price, so let's substitute S with $3,849. We're looking for the cost. How much are you paying for this as a business owner? So C is going to be left blank. E will be replaced with 0.31 times C, or 0.31C. All I did was change the 31% into a decimal, and it's being multiplied to C. So that's represented as 0.31C. And similarly, your profit is 17% of C. So we'll write down 0.17C. Believe it or not, we can actually solve for C in this equation because we have one unknown, that is C, and therefore we can solve for it. C can be common factored on the right side. We have a C here, a C here, and a C here in all three terms. So we can common factor that out, and we end up getting 1 plus 0.31 plus 0.17, 3849. Within the parentheses, we add those numbers, 1 plus 0.31 plus 0.17, and we end up getting an output of 1.48. So we have C times 1.48. And as you can see, we're in a position here to solve for C quite easily. We simply divide both sides of this equation by 1.48. The 1.48s cancel. 3849 divided by answer. And we end up getting a cost of roughly $2,668. 2,600.68 is equal to your cost. So that's how much you're paying for it as a business owner before you start selling it. In question B, what is the lowest price they can offer while still covering all the costs and expenses? What this question is technically asking is, what can we discount the selling price where our operating net profit is 0? And when your net operating profit is 0, you're neither making a profit nor losing anything. So you're essentially breaking even. So to answer this question, we need to begin by understanding that the operating net profit, I'll call that P sub N, is equal to the sales price, or the discounted price, I'll call that SP, take away your total cost. And total cost is different than the cost that we mentioned earlier. Total cost here is both your expenses plus your cost. So it's a combination of those two things. And when we break even, our net operating profit is 0. So I'm going to go ahead and replace P sub N with 0. We can even replace E with 31% of cost, and we already know the cost. We found that in question A, and C with the cost itself, which was $2,668. So we have 0 is equal to SP. Take away your expenses, which was 31% of C. I'll write down 0.31 times what we found for the cost, 2,600.68. So that's E plus the cost itself. And the cost itself is $2,668. And that was C. Let's go ahead and compute this part, just to simplify things. 0.31 times 2600.68 plus 2600.68, and we end up getting 3,406.89 cents. So SP takeaway 3406.89. And from here, we can actually find our sales price that will lead us to breaking even by moving that over. Therefore, SP is equal to $3,406.89. And just to help you interpret this, that if you offer the tour for $3,406.89, you will break even. So you won't be making a profit, nor will you be gaining anything. In question C, what is the highest rate of markdown discount at which the company will still break even? Now, this question is easy to answer now that we found the sales price, the discount price. Remember the formula that your sales price is equal to the selling price times 1 take away your discount. So our selling price, according to the question, was $3,849. And the discount is what we're looking for. So we're looking for that discount that will lead us to a sales price or discount price of $3,406.89. Okay, let's go ahead and solve for D. We divide both sides by 3,849. That cancels out. And what this leaves us with is the following. We get 1 minus D on the right side and that fraction on the left side. I'll rearrange, so I'll bring the D over and bring that over. So I end up getting D is equal to 1 take away 3406.89 over 3849. Okay, using your calculator, 1 take away 3406.89 divided by 3849. And that is the rate of discount. We then multiply that by a factor of 100 or 100%. And this means that we can offer a maximum discount of 11.5%. That's the maximum. And that's rounding upwards to 1 decimal place. In a future video, I'll be showing you the answer to question 2. And it will be linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.